Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jay Wallen. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 must-have kayak fishing accessories. Everybody's got their own spin on it, so this is kind of my take on my top 10. Might actually have a couple extra little honorable mentions at the end, just some things that I wouldn't leave home without and I would make sure I keep in the kayak. This list could go on and on and on, but I'm just going to give you my top 10. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, I would ask and I would appreciate if you would hit the subscribe button. That helps me out a ton. You guys have been awesome. Getting ready for a tournament tomorrow. Going to be on Green River Lake with the Bluegrass Kayak Anglers, so stay on lookout for that video. Should be pretty awesome fishing. I think fish are coming up on the beds and probably gonna catch some good fish. So be looking for that video. And without further ado, let's get into the top 10. All right, guys, coming in at number 10 is the bait sack. The bait sack is made by Kayak Fishing. It's actually formerly known as Kayak Fishing. It's now Tackle Works. They've rebranded over there. But this is the small size bait sack. There's a medium and a large bait sack. These things are awesome, especially for treble hooked baits. So if you have any treble hooked baits in your kayak, this thing is a must, because in the small confines of a kayak, those treble hooks they find their way into everything. And so especially if you're laying your rods horizontal or even vertically, just keeping those hooks tame. This is by far the best product I've seen for actually, wrapping your treble hook baits up. Some of those canvas ones and cloth, the hooks still get caught in them and they don't last. These are made out of PVC. They're pretty durable. They're puncture resistant. But this is definitely snaps right onto your rod. Two different sizes for that. Instructions on the back. But yeah, that's number 10. Go check them out. Tackle Works, Kayak Fishing, the bait sack. All right, coming in at number 9. Not everybody uses these, but I highly recommend using a landing net, a good quality net. I've gone through some nets over the years. There's been some that were really, really well made, but they were super heavy. And for me, being in a kayak, one of the most important things about a net, there's two really important things, but one of them is that it floats, because I couldn't tell you how many times I end up knocking my net in the water. I've lost several nets that didn't float. So definitely for me, one of the most important things is that it floats. The other, one of the other important aspects is that your netting material is coated. This is an Ego net. This is their S1 Genesis. It weighs 1.75 pounds. It floats. And the net, they actually offer two different net coatings. There's like a rubberized coating and there's also a PVC coating. I got the PVC coated. It's really, really light. It doesn't have a lot of resistance in the water. Sometimes that rubber can get a little heavy and you're trying to push your net through the water and it can kind of drag you down a little bit. But this is a quality net. I like a deep bag on mine. I don't want any chance of those fish being able to flop out of the net or anything. So I like a deep bag, and this is a 31-inch handle. Yeah, that's the Ego Fishing S1 Genesis net. For me, I never leave home without this net. I'm always feel like a net helps you land fish. There's definitely been times where when I was early on, when I was getting into kayak fishing, I didn't use a net. I didn't think I needed it. And I lost some big fish because of that. If I'd had a net, I'd have been able to scoop them, but I had to play them closer to the boat and try to lip them and all that. So definitely a net, and so far for my money, and I'm not sponsored by these guys, I pay full retail price just like you, but for me, the Ego S1 Genesis, best kayak net on the market. Coming in at number 8 is a good quality pair of sunglasses, polarized sunglasses at that. You can spend anything you want on a pair of sunglasses. You can get the gas station specials for 20 bucks, or you can go all the way up to the highest end name brand sunglasses and pay $200–300, sometimes more, especially for prescription lenses. You're going to pay a lot. For me, I've been using the Hobie eyewear, formerly known as Hobie Polarized. they have an entire lineup of different types of glasses specifically for fishing. And that's what I like about them. They're really lightweight. Personally, my favorite models, I like the Mojo and I like the Everglades. These are the Everglades right here. These are the green mirror lenses. I do like the Sightmaster lenses as well, especially if the fish are on the beds and it's not terribly bright out. Those Sightmaster lenses are great. But for anywhere from $80 to just over $100, Hobie Eyewear has a really full lineup of different options, different styles. There's so many different lens options that you can go with. They all come with this hard case and a cleaning cloth, so you get all that along with it. But yeah, Hobie Eyewear, great quality pair of sunglasses. They make some that float. They have green lenses, blue lenses, Sightmaster, gray lenses, you name it, they've got it. All right, coming in at number 7, this might seem a little bit odd to you guys considering you all know that I'm in a Hobie. Of course, I use the Mirage drive. I'm in the Pro Angler 360, so I'm using that 360 drive. And then I've also got a Newport Vessels motor. So this one might surprise you, but a good quality paddle. You need to have a paddle in your kayak, period. I don't care what kind of kayak you have. Drives can fail, motors can fail, paddles, they can break, but if your motor dies or your drive, whatever kayak you've got, fails, you're gonna wish you had a good quality paddle. Now, I just carry a half paddle because I'm kind of playing the odds and hoping that I really don't have to use it. So I have a Bending Branches Angler Scout paddle. I've had this thing for a long time. It's a good quality paddle. Got the little T-handle in it, so I just carry half. But you definitely want to have some sort of paddle in your kayak so that if worst case scenario, yeah, it's gonna probably suck and you're not gonna have fun, but you can at least get back to the ramp or get to the bank or whatever it is you need to do. So definitely never leave home kayak fishing without a good quality paddle. Coming in at number 6, if you do any kayak fishing at all, especially tournaments, and you take your cell phone out on the lake with you, you're going to want a cell phone tether. This one is made by Rogue Fishing. I've been using this thing for forever. It's especially good in tournaments because you know, you're trying to take pictures of your fish and they're flopping around and you cannot risk losing your cell phone, especially during a tournament. So I like the Rogue Fishing cell phone tether. It's got some paracord, some stretchy paracord. This right here is rubberized and it's really tough stuff. It just loops over your phone and you've got it tethered there. You can tether it to yourself. You can snap it into your kayak, whatever you want to do. But definitely don't leave home without a cell phone tether. All right, guys, coming in at number 5. This is something that I really just leave in the boat, and it's a towel. Just a towel. You don't realize how handy having a towel in your boat is. Doesn't have to be a big towel, just a little hand towel like this Lowrance towel right here. Perfect. Power Pole makes a towel just like this too. But yeah, get yourself like a little golf towel or something. When it's raining and you need to wipe your phone down, especially in a tournament, or you just need to wipe your hands. I've used this towel, I've cut myself and you know, I've had to use towels to kind of keep blood from getting all over the place. But just a good quality, small hand towel. You'd be surprised how many uses you'll find, and you'll find how much you actually do use just a towel. So definitely keep a towel in your boat. Pair of scissors. These are Spro scissors and they cut braid. It's got a little bottle opener on it too. The reverse side's actually like a, it's got a scaler. So I guess people do that still. But a good quality pair of scissors, and what I like about these is they're big. They're obviously oversized. You know, what I find ends up happening is a lot of people that put scissors in their boat, they use the little short models. You know, there's different brands out there, people make them, but the short ones that I found, they're good. They'll cut braid, they're fine, but the blades are so short on them, you end up wearing the scissors out. I've got scissors that used to cut braid like with surgical precision, and now they won't hardly cut anything. I mean, I can use them to cut monofilament or fluorocarbon, but I really want a good quality pair of scissors with a long blade on it. You know, another thing too is I've seen the plier scissor combos, and I've found that it's cool, but it's not a good pair of scissors, and it's also not a good pair of pliers because it's trying to be both. So I do recommend keep those two tools separate. These are made by Spro. They're razor sharp, and it's got a good long blade on it, so it'll hold its edge for a long time. And then of course, if they do get dull, you can sharpen them. But I personally like the bigger size scissors. But these ones from Spro, ultra sharp, comfortable, good quality pair of scissors right here that you really need to have in the boat. All right, we're down to our top three. Coming in number three, kind of similar to the scissor thing, a good quality pair of needle nose pliers. I have had these pliers right here for well over 15 years. My dad bought me these pliers. They're made by Browning. They're actually titanium. That's what I love about these things. They don't rust. You can use them in salt water. I have literally beat these things to death. I've had them for forever. Now they do have a couple of replaceable hook cutters. So I have used these many times when hooks get into things, and apparently I wasn't using my bait sack, but you can definitely use the clippers on these to cut hooks. The only problem with these pliers is that I'm pretty sure they don't make them anymore. But if you can find a good quality pair of needle nose pliers, and I'll put some links in the description so that you can find some, I'll cut the work out for you guys and I'll show you guys some good quality pliers. But for me, nostalgic purposes, I still use my Browning titanium needle nose pliers, but you definitely need to have a good quality set in your kayak at all times. We are down to number two. Number two is definitely, I'm trying to think, yeah, definitely the number two most important thing that you can have in your kayak. A packable rain suit. Doesn't have to be packable. I prefer packable because obviously in a kayak we're dealing with small spaces. These are AFTCO packable rain pants, and this is an AFTCO rain jacket. It's not technically a packable, but it does zip down into its own pocket, so I guess you could say that. But so I've got AFTCO pants and a rain jacket right here. Stays in the front hatch of my kayak at all times. You can put it in a dry bag just to make sure it stays good and dry, but definitely no matter what, I don't care what the weather forecast is, keep a rain suit in your boat. The packable ones are excellent. I've used these especially in the summertime. You know, when it's hot out and you don't want like some big heavy hot rain suit, you need something kind of light. These packables are perfect for that. Always keep these in my kayak 100% of the time, year round, no matter what. Pair of pants, jacket, gotta have it, must have, rain suit. Keep a rain suit in your boat, I'm telling you, do it. And get the AFTCO. Number one, I'm sure that you can guess what number one is. There's only one thing that's more important than all the other things that I haven't told you about, and that's the PFD. You have to have a PFD in your boat. If you're gonna be on the water, it is pretty much state law in every state that I can think of that you have to have a life jacket or a PFD in your vessel at all times. But with kayak fishing, you really need to wear it. I wear mine 100% of the time, every single time. Don't ever get on the water without it. And since you're in a kayak and you're gonna be wearing a PFD all the time, I like the inflatable ones. This one's made by Hobie. Obviously you guys know I'm sponsored by Hobie, but what I do like about the Hobie PFDs versus other inflatables is that they're short. You know, especially if you're a short person like me, you know, I'll show you guys how far this comes up. So right there, it comes to right here. A lot of those other PFDs come down a little bit longer, and if you're short like me, or even if you're not, sometimes just having something hanging all the way down, it can get in the way when you're trying to cast, you're trying to set the hook, get the net, do things in the boat. So I like the shorter length of the Hobie PFDs. But yeah, get something. The most important thing is that you wear it. So get something that's comfortable for you to wear, because you know, I wear this thing right here for 8, 9, 10 hours at a time. No problem. I forget that I have it on. And that's really kind of what you want to get into. You want something so comfortable that you don't even know you've got it on. And that's why I like the Hobie inflatable, like I said, because it's short. It's got a good collar on it. It's got some zippered pockets here, so you can put your cell phone right here. You know, put your safety whistle or whatever. But definitely a good quality PFD. I prefer the inflatables, but there's some other good options out there for you guys. But this is by far the #1 most important thing, must-have kayak accessory that you don't ever want to leave home without. So get yourself a good quality PFD and wear it. All right, guys, coming in first on the honorable mentions list. These didn't quite make my top 10, but it is very important if you're going to be out in the sun, outside kayak fishing, get some good quality sunscreen. I use the Sun Bum stick. It's kind of like a deodorant stick. You can see you just rub it on your face. I mean, I really like that because it keeps my hands clean. I'm not getting sunscreen all over my hands and touching my baits with them and getting that scent on the baits. And then of course Sun Bum makes good lip balm. If you've ever had sunburn on your lips, I'm not sure there's anything worse. And it doesn't hit you the first couple of days. It's like the next week once your lips start peeling and stuff, and it's painful and nasty, and yeah, so let's not do that. But yeah, get yourself some good quality sunscreen, some skin care products. These are the two that I like. This is what I use all the time. So I'll have links to these in the description. But definitely, if you're going to be out in the sun, protect your skin. If you're going to be out after dark, either early in the morning or late in the evenings, you definitely need a headlamp or something to give off some light. I prefer a headlamp. It's just a lot simpler. This is a Black Diamond Storm. I'm not going to turn it on, but it's got a lot of different features on it. It's got green lights, and you can do red and blue, and it's really, really bright. But it uses 3 AAA batteries. They actually sell a rechargeable battery pack now, which I really like. But this one's light, comfortable, lasts a long time, super bright. It's waterproof. It's the Storm series, so it's definitely waterproof, that's what I like about this. But yeah, definitely didn't quite make the top 10, but definitely keep some light source in your kayak with you. I just prefer a headlamp, makes things a lot easier and hands-free. So get yourself a light, get yourself a headlamp. All right, the last thing on the honorable mentions list for must-have kayak accessories is a tether. Now this one's made by Gerber. This is their saltwater tether. You can tell this thing's nasty, beat up, but it's still going strong. I mean, I have wore this thing out. This is what I keep my pliers on. It's got a real strong cord here. I'm not sure what material that is. Some sort of Kydex or something. I'm not real sure. But this thing's been great. It's got a lock on it, so you can lock it down so it can't retract. And then on the bottom, it's got the T-bolt. So that makes it really nice. A lot of our kayaks now have the T-bolt accessories that you can pretty much put this thing anywhere. But this is great for scissors, pliers, or just anything else that you want to tether down. You can tether your your measuring boards. The possibilities are endless, really. But this is the last thing on the honorable mentions list. I love my gear tether. Gerber makes a really good one. So definitely get yourself a gear tether or something to keep yourself organized on the water. That's the last of the honorable mentions. That wraps it up for my top 10 must-have kayak fishing accessories. You'll find all the links to the items that I discussed, all the details in the description. I encourage you guys, if you're interested in purchasing any of those items, to use the links that I provide in my description. That comes back and helps me out as a referral. So I really appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we'll catch y'all next time.